On a rainy Easter Sunday morning, Father Daniel Kane, a charismatic priest with weary eyes, preached a sermon on the ethical values of Christ's redemption to a sparse congregation at St. Augustine's Church in the Crestview neighborhood of Alabama District. His voice was steady, but his hands trembled slightly as he gripped the pulpit. In the pew, his wife, Lillian Kane, elegant and composed, watches him with a cryptic smile. Their son, Noah Kane, slouches in the back, texting, looking uninterested all throughout the sermon. After the service, a telephone conversation took place inside the rectory. Carla, a steely DEA officer, called, "You're late, what's the update?" Inside the rectory, the respondent said, "I'm close, Carla. But this town, it's my home. My family's here." Carla responded, "You swore an oath. You should not be swayed by the emotions of family or loved ones in the neighborhood." At home, Lillian, a former pharmacist, oversees a charity facade, Hope's Light, which distributes aid to Crestview's indigenes in the neighborhood. Unknown to Daniel, it's a front. She's the elusive Queen Viper, the Serpent's Hands leader, orchestrating shipments from a hidden lab. She's calculating, charming, and fiercely protective of Noah, who's unaware of her role but benefits from her wealth. Noah, a college dropout, spends nights at sleazy motels, entangled in reckless sexcapades with prostitutes, funded by cash he assumes comes from his mom's charity. The cartel operates through Rico Salazar, Lillian's brutal enforcer, who runs street deals and intimidates locals in the Crestview neighborhood. Rico meets Lillian in a warehouse, handing her a ledger of profits. She's cold efficient. The following conversation took place between them. Cops are sniffing around Queen Viper. "Someone in your husband's church is speaking to too many people in authority." Lillian responded, "The people in my husband's church are people of average means, and they do not have the connections to the authorities as you claimed. Focus on the shipment, Rico. No mistakes." An unknown individual patrolling at the back of the warehouse was eavesdropping on Rico's conversation with Lillian, and heard sparingly about the big drop deal at the old mill, but dived into the forest quickly as Rico's men were patrolling around the premises after hearing footsteps. Lillian quickly dashed home as she was becoming uncomfortable with the barking of the dogs, as she suspected that someone may be hiding behind the warehouse and listening to their conversations. At home, Lillian notices Daniel's muddy shoes and asks, "You went for a late-night prayer walk again, my love?" Her tone is playful but sharp, planting seeds of suspicion. Daniel was quiet and moved to his prayer room. While alone, Daniel kneels in prayer, whispering, "Forgive us, Lord, as a family and the trespasses of the congregation at St. Augustine's Church." A photo of him, Lillian, and a young Noah, smiling at a county fair, sits nearby, as he tarried more in prayers for the rumors he was overhearing on the lips of the congregants about drug shipment operations that he has not yet confirmed from the authorities. The task force ramps up pressure on the Crestview neighborhood. Officers Carla and Marcus meet with Sheriff Lena Brooks, a no-nonsense local who resents federal overreach but hates the cartel more. Lena's police force, underfunded and stretched thin, patrols Crestview streets, clashing with Rico's dealers. A raid on a cartel stash house goes wrong. 2 officers are shot, escalating tensions. The following exchange of conversation took place between Sheriff Lena and officers Carla and Marcus. Carla, "My men are dying out there in the raiding of the drug cartels." Officer Ruiz replied, "The information from my insider is ever reliable, but he was walking on a tightrope, and he has been suspected by members of the cartel. I hope he stays anonymous and keeps quiet." Officer Marcus interrupted, "If he compromised and snitched on us, I'll yank him myself. No more dead cops." However, our cops have captured some of the injured drug cartel members, and they are being taken to the ICU, after which they would be taken to the magistrate courts when they have recovered from bullet injuries. The magistrate court, led by Judge Evelyn Harper, a stern but fair magistrate, are swamped with drug cases. Evelyn denies bail to a cartel runner, citing public safety, but receives threats. A dead snake left on her car. Human steps around her windows every night. She confides in Sheriff Lena, who assigns an officer to her home, highlighting the cartel's reach. Evelyn's rulings delay Rico's operations, making Lillian impatient. The growing anxiety of Lillian was amplified by the fact that some of the injured cops captured were in the same warehouse vicinity where she was with Rico. She wondered how the FBI were aware of the shipment details of the alternative route schedule the consignment was taken to. As she awaits the rulings of the captured cartels, Rico sends a short video to her informing her of her son's laxness. Noah was filmed by a prostitute, who blackmails him for hush money. Noah, panicked, steals from Lillian's safe, unaware it contains cartel cash. Tina, greedy, tries selling the video to Rico, who kills her to tie loose ends. Noah was shaken by the death of Tina. Father Daniel Kane overheard the conversation of his few friends in his parish about the reckless wild party his son threw a few days ago. And on getting home, Father Daniel had a confrontation with his son on the issue. "Noah, where's the money coming from? Talk to me." Noah replied, "Back off, Dad. I'm not your damn congregation," and Noah walks away. The growing recklessness of Noah has been a major concern to Father Daniel Kane. His failure to raise Noah in the way of the Lord was a major stain on his priestly ordinances in his parish. Lillian grows suspicious of Daniel's late-night parish visits. Is it really a prayer walk, or is there anyone he is having conversation with? She pondered. Father Daniel Kane came out of the room as he strolled out of the home again. His phone rang. "Hello." Lillian moved quickly to the window and watched as Father Daniel Kane continued his conversation on his phone. Lillian was bothered about who his husband was speaking to, but instead of confronting him, she called Rico and ordered him to move the mill shipment early. She went to meet Noah in his room and said, "Your father's distracted lately. He has been receiving strange calls. We shall be going on a short vacation. Begin to pack your belongings and wait for me." Her love for her family clashes with her ruthlessness, creating a chilling duality. While on the phone, Father Daniel was speaking to Richard, a private detective he employs to help him monitor his wife's night movements. And his surveillance pays off. Richard records Rico's discussion at the mill mentioning a boss lady the previous day. Father Daniel doesn't suspect his wife yet, but shares the audio recordings to Officer Carla, who pushes for a sting. During a confession at the parish in the afternoon, a parishioner hints at Hope's light being dirty, planting a seed in Daniel's mind. In the night that same day, Father Daniel, disguised in a hoodie, follows Lillian from a distance secretly to the warehouse. On seeing his wife discussing with Rico, his world cracks, he whispers, "No, not her." At the mill, Daniel infiltrates the cartels and plants a tracker on a shipment, but unfortunately triggers an alarm. Rico's men chase him through rusted machinery, bullets flying. Daniel escapes, heart pounding, but drops his rosary in the chaos. Rico's men find his rosary on their way back to the mill and give it to Rico. Rico shows the rosary to Lillian and says this ain't no coincidence. Lillian was shocked, grabbed the rosary from Rico's hand and hurried back home. Daniel confronts Lillian at home, asking about her late-night movements. She lies smoothly, saying it's charity work, and kisses him, whispering, "You're my rock, Daniel." He wants to believe her, but his faith wavers. Lillian knows that her husband was at the mill, and her next move was to activate Plan B, which is to move out with her son, Noah, on a vacation trip tomorrow after the drug shipment deal. Lillian, realizing her husband's onto her, orders Rico to frame him. They planted drugs in his church, tipping off Lena's police. Officers raid St. Augustine's church, tearing through pews as parishioners gasp. Father Daniel was arrested, humiliated, but Officer Carla intervenes, revealing Father Daniel DEA ties to Sheriff Lena under strict confidentiality. Evelyn, the magistrate, releases Daniel on a technicality, warning him, "You're playing with fire, Father Daniel. I see good in you, but secrets destroy. Choose your side." Father Daniel replied, "I'm trying my honor. God help me, I'm trying." When Father Daniel got home, he found Noah sobbing. He asked, "Son, what's the issue? I am back home." But Noah was spiraling after Tina's death. As soon as Father Daniel embraced his son, Noah broke in tears and confesses to his father about the blackmail and his hookups. "I'm a screw-up, Dad. I didn't mean this." Father Daniel promises to protect him, but learns the stolen cash links to Lillian's safe. The pieces fall into place. His family's at the cartel's heart. Officers Carla and Marcus plan a massive sting on the mill, using Daniel's tracker data. They pressure him to name the boss lady. Father Daniel stalls, torn between duty and love. Lena's police, now cooperating, scout the mill, but Rico's men ambush them. wounding an officer. The town's on edge, church attendance drops, businesses shutter early, fear choking Crestview neighborhood. Lillian, sensing the officers closing in on her and Rico, plans to flee with Noah after one last shipment. She meets Daniel in the church, candlelight flickering, and tests him. "You've been distant, Daniel. Is it the parish or something else?" Father Daniel replied, "I could ask you the same." Lillian, "What's in that safe?" Lillian, smiling coldly, responded, "Careful, my love. Some truths break us." She leaves the church immediately, but Daniel has already found her burner phone in the safe and listened to audio recording of Rico in her phone saying, "Queen Viper, we move tonight." His heart sinks. She's the queen. At the mill that night, the sting erupts. DEA officers, police, and cartel gunmen clash in a chaotic firefight. Father Daniel, defying Carla's orders to stay off the mill that night, sneaks in to save his son Noah, whom Lillian brought along with her while leaving the home that evening. He finds Noah hiding, terrified, and drags him to safety as bullets fly in different directions. Lillian, cornered, shoots Rico to silence him, then vanishes into the night. The shipment seized, but the Queen Viper escapes. Father Daniel brought his son back to the church. Father Daniel sits alone, clutching Lillian's burner phone. Officer Carla calls, demanding the boss lady's identity. Noah, bruised but alive, begs, "Dad, don't turn her in. She's still Mom." Daniel's eyes fill with tears. He sees the photo of their family, now a lie. He dials Carla, says, "I have a name." The church's stained glass window glows faintly, a serpent coiled around a cross. A distant siren wails. Will Father Daniel disclose the identity of the boss lady? Like, share, subscribe, and put on notification for the next episode of The Confessions I Couldn't Make.